If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become part of this community. Drake is back, at least in a way. Let's talk about it. So today on July 1st, Brent Faiyaz released a new song called Wasting Time featuring Drake. What's funny is that this thing dropped on a Thursday when, usually to get eligible for that week's Billboard Hot 100 charts, you need to drop on a Friday to at least get the full week of sales. But also today dropped a new Nas track featuring Freddie Gibbs and Corday. I shouldn't say new because it's a recording from 1995, but they kind of revised it and released it. So I don't know what's happening with all this July 1st releases today, but we're getting them on a Thursday. It is what it is. But let's talk about this new track from Brent Faiyaz, because Brent Faiyaz is someone who I've been watching very closely, especially ever since he dropped his 2020 tape F the World, and it's just someone who I've always had my eye on. He's in this really interesting position of not really having blown up yet, but still being up there in terms of recognition, in terms of people respecting him. He's also featured on Tyler the Creator's new album, so he's doing really well. And this Drake feature to me on here seems a lot like, remember when Drake did those, what was that, Roy Woods features, or at least on Drama, for example? That's the track that I can remember right now. I think he did one other feature for him. Of course, in those days, 2015, 2016, Roy Woods was bigger than Brent Faiyaz is today, but still, I feel like they're in the very same lane and the very same kind of types of artists that Drake reaches out to because he, likes their music personally and wants to, support him with a verse that is more in that R&B type of style, because Brent Faiyaz is of course not a rapper, he's an R&B singer, but definitely someone who resembles Drake's style pretty well. So this new Drake part on here was really something that was to be expected. It's nothing crazy. He's not singing on here, he's rapping, which I actually like pretty well because it just fits the whole vibe of the song. There were already some, comments surrounding some drama about him mentioning Kim Kardashian in this one and taking shots at Kanye. So far from a couple of listens, of course, that line about you used to do skincare, now you do swimwear and all that, that could be a reference to that. But it could also just be any other situation in Drake's life. So I don't know if I would jump to that conclusion yet, but maybe as we get more info on that, we'll be able to do something. But right now I would rather just chill and enjoy, this new Drake verse that we have, because it's sounding pretty good. This is actually, I really like this. I think it fit the sound of the song pretty well. I think it complemented Brent Faiyaz's style really well. I could really see the both of them, working together in the future as well. Maybe Brent Faiyaz will be a feature on CLB, and that's my next topic that I want to move on to, because we're still waiting for CLB. It's July now. Today is July 1st, and we still don't have any more information on Drake's new album, which is supposed to drop in the summer. The last kind of information that we have is that Drake said that it's going to be out by the end of the summer. He said that in a very casual way. He was like, oh yeah, by then my album will be out. So I was guessing that maybe we would get an announcement in June and the album would drop in July. I still think July, August will be the time, so we're getting closer to it. But just so far, there's not any solid information that we can rely on. But what we can do is judge from what we've heard so far and from whatever features he does in the meantime leading up to the album. We've seen him being featured on, for example, Seeing Green as well, where it was more like a, back in the day, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Drake type of rap, where he just rapped. He was just bars for bars. And I like that very much. And I also like this type of Drake. And I think those two types of Drake are what we want to see combined on CLB. I've talked about this in the past a lot, but that whole concept of him going back to an older sound that he used to do back in the day, of maybe a softer Drake, that take care type of Drake that we haven't seen on, for example, Scorpion. On Scorpion, it was rather either Drake is rapping or Drake is singing, but never that soft rapping, if that's what I can call it. You probably know what I mean. Listen to Take Care, listen to Nothing Was the Same, a couple of those songs on there, then you know what I mean. If you're a Drake fan, then you know what I mean. And I think this was pretty well represented on this new track. Now, it does sound like new Drake though. It does sound like new Drake. It's not in that, I'm really not sure how to describe this, but in that kind of not as perfected voice editing that we had back in the day, but rather that very kind of compressed type of vocal editing and mixing that we've seen him use in the past, 2 to 3 to 4 years, which is not a bad thing at all. I think that fits his voice pretty well when he does go into those deeper kind of, vocal ranges. So I'm not complaining, but I am saying that maybe this is like the new modern reinterpretation and revision of that old style that we all want him to do on CLB. And if that's the case, then I'm all here for it. A lot of you guys in the comments are always saying we want the old Drake back. We want like that Take Care and Nothing Was the Same, maybe even Thank Me Later, So Far Gone type of Drake. And that's what he has been teasing at with the trailer, with what we've heard so far. Now, there was one dud that I didn't like, which was that Gunna song that he said was supposed to be on Certified Lover Boy Solid on Slam Language 2, which it now ended up on with Young Thug and Gunna, which I thought that was like that new Drake sound that I really don't like. That kind of triplet flow, that just very monotone voice, that's the Drake that I don't like. And that's the Drake that we've seen over the past couple of years, starting with like Views, I would say, and then More Life Scorpion was like just a kind of, continuing from that. But that's the type of style that I don't want on this new one. I know that we're gonna get some of that. I know that there's no way around that. We've seen him use that on that new Migos track as well from Culture 3, Having Our Way, which I actually enjoyed better than some of you guys. Y'all said that was trash. I actually enjoyed it, also Drake's part, but it's not like the vocal tone and the vocal range that I want him in. I think, for example, what he did on this Brent Faiyaz track, that is where he's at his best, and that's where I want to see him at, and I want to see him tap into when it comes to CLB. And I hope this is a tastemaker for that. As I said, no solid information on CLB so far. The only thing we can do is judge from what we have so far, and this is the latest kind of evidence for that. So let's stick to this. Let's keep streaming Wasted Time, Brent Faiyaz, Drake, because I really like Drake's part in here, and I'm excited for CLB now. That's what I think about this. Now I want to know what you think about this. Did you like this new Brent Faiyaz track? Did you think it was weird that it released on a Thursday? What are you looking forward to coming in the future from Brent Faiyaz and also from Drake? Do you think Drake's verse on here was kind of a tastemaker for what's to come with CLB? Do you think this will be the style that he will use on his future project, or do you think he'll go back to that solid Having Our Way type of style? That's what I want to know from you guys. Also, let me know all your expectations, all your thoughts for CLB, what you're hoping for, because apparently we're getting closer. He said that it's going to be up at the end of the summer. It's getting closer to the end of the summer, so let's keep hoping. Let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.